The unexpected discovery. The vast expanse of space stretched out before Captain Elara Voss as she piloted the research vessel Stargazer through the uncharted regions of the Andromeda Galaxy. Her mission: to explore potential habitable worlds for future human colonization. After months of uneventful travel, the ship's advanced sensors suddenly blared to life. Unidentified object detected, announced the ship's AOIA. Collision course imminent. Elara's hands flew across the control panel, expertly maneuvering the Stargazer to avoid impact. As the object hurtled past, she caught a glimpse of its sleek, otherworldly design. It was unmistakably a spacecraft, but unlike any she had ever seen. AOIA, analyze and track that vessel, Elara ordered, her heart racing with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. Analysis complete. AOIA responded moments later. The craft appears to be of non-human origin. Its trajectory suggests a crash landing on the nearby planet designated as Novus Prime. Elara's mind raced. First contact with an alien species was a moment humanity had dreamed of for centuries, but the thought of the craft crashing filled her with dread. Without hesitation, she set a course for Novus Prime. As the Stargazer entered the planet's atmosphere, Elara's trained eyes scanned the barren, rocky landscape. A plume of smoke on the horizon caught her attention, and she guided the ship towards it. Landing a safe distance away, she donned her exosuit and stepped out onto the alien world. The crashed vessel lay in a deep furrow carved into the planet's surface, its once beautiful hull now a twisted wreck. Elara approached cautiously, her suit's sensors on high alert for any signs of danger. As she neared the ship, a faint sound reached her ears, a sound that made her blood run cold. It was the cry of a child. Elara rushed forward, all caution forgotten. She found a tear in the ship's hull and peered inside. What she saw nearly made her heart stop. Two small figures huddled together in the wreckage, their skin a pale blue hue with intricate, bioluminescent patterns swirling across their bodies. They were alien children, and they were alive. "Oh my God," Elara breathed, her mind reeling. She knew instantly that she couldn't leave them here. With gentle movements, she reached out to the twins. "It's okay," she said softly, knowing they couldn't understand her words, but hoping her tone would soothe them. "I'm here to help." The aliens regarded her with large, iridescent eyes that seemed to shimmer with intelligence beyond their years. One of them reached out a seven-fingered hand and touched Elara's visor. In that instant, a flood of images and emotions washed over her: fear, confusion, and a desperate plea for help. Elara gasped, overwhelmed by the alien child's telepathic abilities. She took a deep breath, steadying herself. "Okay, little ones," she said, her voice filled with determination. "Let's get you somewhere safe." As she carefully extracted the twins from the wreckage, Elara's mind raced. Protocol dictated that she should immediately report this to her superiors at the Interstellar Exploration Agency, IEA. But as she looked at the frightened, vulnerable faces of the alien children, she knew that doing so might condemn them to a life of experimentation and isolation. No, Elara decided. She would protect these children, no matter the cost. She would raise them herself if she had to, teach them about humanity, and give them a chance at a normal life, or as normal as it could be for alien twins on Earth. With the precious cargo secured in her arms, Elara made her way back to the Stargazer. As she strapped the twins into makeshift seats, alarms blared throughout the ship. "Warning," AOIA announced. "Multiple unidentified vessels entering the planet's atmosphere." Elara's heart raced as she rushed to the cockpit. On the view screen, she saw a fleet of ships, their designs similar to the crashed vessel. Whoever these aliens were, they had come in force, perhaps to recover the very children she now protected. In that moment, Elara made a decision that would change the course of human history. She fired up the Stargazer's engines, plotting a course that would use the planet's gravity to slingshot them towards Earth at speeds she had never before attempted. As the ship accelerated, breaking free of the planet's atmosphere, Elara glanced back at the alien twins. They watched her with those mesmerizing eyes, a mix of trust and uncertainty in their gaze. "Don't worry," Elara said, more to herself than to the children. "I'll keep you safe, I promise." The Stargazer streaked across space, pushing its engines to the limit. Behind them, the alien fleet gave chase, but Elara's piloting skills and her ship's superior technology slowly but surely widened the gap. As Earth's solar system came into view weeks later, Elara knew that her life, and the lives of every human, would never be the same. She had made first contact, rescued alien children, and was about to introduce Earth to its first extraterrestrial residents. The adventure was only beginning, and humanity's place in the universe was about to change forever. Elara's mind raced as she considered the implications of her actions. She had effectively kidnapped 2 alien children, albeit with the intention of saving them. How would she explain this to the IEA, to her family, to the entire human race? As the Stargazer approached Earth's orbit, Elara made a crucial decision. She couldn't risk the twins being taken away by the authorities. Instead of heading directly to IEA headquarters as protocol demanded, she set a course for her family's remote cabin in the Canadian wilderness. "IEA," Elara commanded, "initiate stealth protocols and scramble our identification codes. We're going off the grid." "Acknowledged, Captain," the AA responded. "May I remind you that these actions violate multiple IEA regulations?" Elara sighed. "I'm well aware, AIA, but sometimes doing the right thing means breaking the rules." As the Stargazer descended through Earth's atmosphere under the cover of night, Elara's heart pounded. She was about to become the guardian of 2 alien children, without any idea of how to care for them or what challenges lay ahead. The ship touched down in a small clearing near the cabin. Elara powered down the engines and turned to the twins, who had remained remarkably calm throughout the journey. "Welcome to Earth, little ones," she said softly. "This is your new home." As she helped the children out of the ship, Elara marveled at how they seemed to glow in the moonlight, their bioluminescent patterns pulsing gently. She led them into the cabin, grateful for the stockpile of supplies her family always kept on hand. Over the next few days, Elara worked tirelessly to make the twins comfortable and understand their needs. She discovered they could subsist on a diet of fruits and a nutrient-rich algae she cultivated in the cabin's bathtub. Communication was a challenge, but their telepathic abilities allowed for a rudimentary exchange of emotions and simple concepts. As the weeks passed, Elara began to notice changes in the twins. Their bioluminescent patterns grew more complex, and their telepathic abilities strengthened. They learned to mimic human speech with surprising speed, though their voices carried an otherworldly, melodic quality. One evening, as they sat by the fireplace, the male twin, whom Elara had named Orion, spoke his first word, "Mother." Elara's eyes filled with tears. "Yes," she whispered, pulling both children close. "I suppose I am your mother now." The female twin, whom Elara had named Lyra, placed a hand on Elara's cheek. In that moment, Elara felt a surge of love and gratitude that nearly overwhelmed her. As the months turned into years, Elara raised the twins in secret, teaching them about human culture, science, and history. She marveled at their incredible intelligence and their unique perspective on the world. Orion showed a particular aptitude for mathematics and physics, while Lyra demonstrated an uncanny ability to understand and manipulate biological systems. But as the children grew, so did the challenges of keeping them hidden. Their telepathic abilities sometimes flared uncontrollably, causing nearby electronics to short out. Elara found herself constantly on edge, fearing discovery. One day, while on a rare outing to a nearby town for supplies, Lyra's controls slipped. For a brief moment, her true appearance was revealed to the shocked crowd around them. Elara acted quickly, scooping up both twins and rushing them back to the safety of their cabin. That night, as the twins slept fitfully, Elara sat at the kitchen table, head in her hands. She knew that it was only a matter of time before their secret was exposed. The weight of her decision all those years ago pressed down on her, heavier than ever. But as she looked at the family photos lining the walls, snapshots of a life filled with love, laughter, and the unique joy of raising two extraordinary children, Elara knew she would do it all again in a heartbeat. A soft touch on her shoulder startled her. Orion stood there, his eyes glowing softly in the dim light. "We love you, Mother," he said, both aloud and in Elara's mind. "Whatever comes, we face it as a family." Elara pulled Orion into a tight embrace, feeling Lyra join them moments later. As they stood there, this unconventional family born of the stars, Elara felt a fierce determination well up inside her. Yes, the road ahead would be difficult. Yes, the day might come when they would have to face the consequences of Elara's choices. But in this moment, surrounded by the love of her alien children, Elara knew that together they could face anything the universe threw at them. As if in response to her thoughts, a faint light pulsed in the night sky, a new star, or perhaps something more. The next chapter of their extraordinary journey was about to begin, and humanity would never be the same. Galactic echoes. Years flew by like shooting stars, and before Elara knew it, Orion and Lyra were celebrating their 16th birthday, or at least the Earth equivalent of it. The cabin was filled with the aroma of their favorite treats, a peculiar mix of chocolate cake and the bioluminescent algae they'd grown fond of. As Elara watched the twins blow out their candles, their skin shimmering with excitement, she couldn't help but marvel at how far they'd come. Orion had grown into a thoughtful, analytical young man, his telepathic abilities honed to incredible precision. Lyra, ever the firecracker, had developed a knack for bioengineering, her seven-fingered hands deftly manipulating plant DNA to create hybrid species that could thrive in any environment. But with their growth came new challenges. The twins were restless, yearning to explore the world beyond the confines of their secluded home. "Mother," Lyra projected one evening, her thoughts tinged with frustration, "we can't hide forever. We want to live, to experience this world fully." Elara sighed, running a hand through her graying hair. "I know, Starlight, but you have to understand the risks. The world isn't always kind to those who are different." Orion, ever the mediator, stepped in. "What if we found a way to blend in better, to control our abilities more completely?" And so began a new chapter in their lives. Elara reached out to an old colleague, Dr. Zara Chen, a brilliant geneticist she trusted with her life. Together, they worked in secret to develop a revolutionary gene therapy that would allow the twins to suppress their alien traits at will. The process was grueling, filled with setbacks and moments of doubt. But finally, after months of work, they had a breakthrough. Orion and Lyra could now pass as human for extended periods, their bioluminescent skin and telepathic abilities dormant until they chose to activate them. With this new freedom came the twins' first taste of normal teenage life. They enrolled in the local high school, eager to make friends and experience the world they'd only seen through screens and occasional outings. At first, everything seemed perfect. Orion excelled in his classes, particularly in physics and astronomy, often leaving his teachers in awe of his insights. Lyra joined the school's bioengineering club, her innovative ideas quickly making her a star pupil. But as the weeks went by, the strain of maintaining their secret began to show. Orion struggled with the emotional weight of sensing his classmates' thoughts and feelings, often overwhelmed by the cacophony of teenage angst and drama. Lyra, frustrated by the limitations of Earth technology, found it increasingly difficult to hold back her advanced knowledge. One day, during a heated debate in her biology class about the possibility of extraterrestrial life, Lyra's controls slipped. In her passion, she began describing alien ecosystems with such vivid detail that her classmates stared in shock and suspicion. "How could you possibly know all that?" one student challenged. Lyra froze, her mind racing for an explanation. It was Orion who saved the day, stepping into the classroom and using his telepathy to subtly influence the other students' memories of the incident. That night, as the twins sat with Ilara in their living room, the weight of their situation hung heavy in the air. "I'm sorry, Mother," Lyra whispered, her usual bravado replaced by genuine remorse. "I didn't mean to put us at risk." Ilara pulled both of them into a tight embrace. "Oh, my star children," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "You have nothing to apologize for. It's the world that isn't ready for your brilliance." Orion, always the thoughtful one, spoke up. Maybe that's our purpose here. Not just to hide and survive, but to help prepare humanity for what's out there." His words hung in the air, filled with possibility and danger in equal measure. Ilara knew the twins were right. They couldn't hide forever. But how could they reveal themselves without risking everything? As if in answer to their dilemma, the sky outside their window lit up with a brilliant flash. Ilara rushed to look, her heart pounding. A familiar shape loomed in the distance, a ship, not of Earth design. "They're here," she breathed, a mix of fear and strange relief washing over her. The moment they had both dreaded and secretly longed for had finally arrived. Orion and Lyra stood on either side of her, their hands clasped tightly together as they watched the alien ship descend. They knew their lives were about to change forever. The time for hiding was over. Now they would have to stand tall, embracing both their alien heritage and their Earth upbringing. "Whatever happens," Ilara said, her voice steady despite her racing heart, "we face it together. You two are the bridge between worlds, a symbol of what's possible when we open our hearts to the unknown." As sirens began to wail in the distance and news alerts flashed across their devices, the little family stood united. They had no way of knowing that their actions in the coming days would not only determine their own fate, but would shake the foundations of human-alien relations for generations to come. The twins, once hidden away as a secret, were about to step into the light, ready to show humanity that the universe was far more wonderful and diverse than they had ever imagined. And in doing so, they would prove that love, compassion, and understanding could transcend the boundaries of worlds and species alike. As the alien ship hovered above their small town, its sleek design a stark contrast to the angular human architecture below, panic spread through the streets. People ran in all directions, sirens wailed, and military vehicles rumbled past. But Ilara, Orion, and Lyra moved with purpose, heading towards the ship that now cast its shadow over the city's center. Suddenly, a beam of light shot down from the vessel, and a figure materialized before them. Tall and regal, with the same pale blue skin and bioluminescent patterns as the twins, the alien regarded them with a mix of relief and stern authority. "I am Zarek, High Counselor of Lumina," the figure announced, its voice resonating in their minds. "We have come for the lost heirs of our world." Ilara stepped forward protectively, but Lyra gently held her back. "We are the ones you seek," she said, her voice clear and strong. As if on cue, Orion and Lyra deactivated their human disguises, their true forms shimmering into view. Gasps rippled through the growing crowd of onlookers. Zarek's eyes widened. "Prince Orion, Princess Lyra," he breathed, dropping to one knee. "We have searched the galaxy for you." The revelation sent shockwaves through the assembled humans. Cameras flashed, and reporters pushed forward, shouting questions. "Aliens among us. Royal heirs in hiding." The headlines practically wrote themselves. But before anyone could react further, a squadron of military helicopters appeared, surrounding the alien ship. A voice boomed over a loudspeaker. "This is General Hawthorne of the United Earth Defense Force. Alien vessel, you are in restricted airspace. Stand down immediately." Tension crackled in the air like electricity. Zarek rose, his posture defensive. "We mean no harm," he projected, his thoughts reaching everyone in the vicinity. "We have come only for our lost children." Lyra stepped forward, her eyes blazing with the fire that Ilara had always admired. "No," she shouted, her voice carrying over the din. "You can't just take us away. Earth is our home too." Her words seemed to hang in the air, heavy with implication. Humans and aliens alike stared at the twins, these impossible bridges between two worlds. Orion, ever the diplomat, raised his hands in a gesture of peace. "Please," he said, addressing both Zarek and General Hawthorne, "there is no need for conflict. We are both of Lumina and of Earth. Surely we can find a way to coexist." His words seemed to break the spell of tension. General Hawthorne ordered his forces to stand down, while Zarek visibly relaxed. Seeing an opportunity, Elara stepped forward. "I am Elara Voss," she announced, her voice steady despite her racing heart. 16 years ago, I found these children in a crashed ship and raised them as my own. They are as much children of Earth as they are of Lumina." Her declaration sent murmurs through the crowd. Journalists scribbled furiously, and smartphones captured every moment of this historic encounter. Zarek regarded Elara with a mix of gratitude and curiosity. "You have cared for our lost prince and princess," he said, his mental voice tinged with emotion. "Lumina owes you a great debt." But the moment of understanding was short-lived. A new voice cut through the air, harsh and angry. "They're a threat to national security." The crowd parted to reveal Senator Victor Brandt, known for his hardline stance on extraterrestrial matters. "These aliens have infiltrated our society, hidden among us for years. How do we know this isn't the first wave of an invasion?" His words ignited a spark of fear in the crowd. Shouts of agreement mingled with cries of protest. The situation was balanced on a nice edge. Orion and Lyra exchanged a glance. Years of silent communication allowed them to form a plan in an instant. Together, they raised their hands, and a soft, melodious hum filled the air. Slowly, tendrils of bioluminescent energy spiraled out from their fingers, forming intricate patterns in the sky. The crowd fell silent, mesmerized by the display. Even Senator Brandt seemed at a loss for words. "We are not a threat," Orion said, his voice carrying clearly in the hushed silence. "We are a promise of what's possible when different worlds come together." "We've lived among you," Lara continued, her usual exuberance tempered by the gravity of the moment. "Learned from you, loved you. We are the best of both our worlds." Their words, coupled with the ethereal beauty of their display, seemed to shift the mood of the crowd. Fear gave way to wonder, suspicion to curiosity. General Hawthorne stepped forward, his face a mask of conflicting emotions. "What do you propose?" he asked, addressing both the twins and Zarek. Orion smiled, a plan forming in his mind. "An exchange," he said. "Knowledge, culture, science. A chance for both our worlds to grow together." Zarek nodded slowly, a glimmer of hope in his eyes. It has been too long since Luna opened itself to new ideas. Perhaps it is time for a change. Years, the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the scene. The first tentative steps towards a new era of human-alien relations were taken. Diplomats were summoned, agreements drafted, and plans made for cultural exchanges. Elara watched with pride as her children, these remarkable beings she had raised, took their place at the center of it all. They were no longer hidden treasures but shining beacons of hope for two worlds. As night fell and the stars emerged, twinkling with new possibility, Elara knew that the greatest adventure was just beginning. The universe had opened up and humanity, led by two unlikely princes, was ready to take its place among the stars. The story of Orion and Lyra, the alien twins raised on Earth, would be told for generations to come. It would inspire countless others to look to the stars not with fear, but with hope and wonder. And in the end, it would prove that the greatest power in the universe was not advanced technology or telepathic abilities, but the simple, unbreakable bonds of family and love. Cosmic convergence. The days following the revelation of Orion and Lyra's true identity were a whirlwind of chaos and excitement. Earth was a planet divided, its population grappling with the reality of alien life among them. News channels buzzed with debates, social media exploded with theories and opinions, and governments worldwide scrambled to formulate responses to this unprecedented situation. At the heart of it all were the twins, thrust into a spotlight they had spent their lives avoiding. But rather than shrinking from the challenge, they rose to meet it with a grace that left even their harshest critics in awe. Orion, with his diplomatic skills honed by years of navigating high school politics, became the face of their cause. He addressed the United Nations, his words broadcast to billions around the world. "We stand at a crossroads," he said, his voice calm and assured. "We can choose fear and isolation, or we can embrace the infinite possibilities that lie beyond our atmosphere. My sister and I are living proof that humanity and alien life can not only coexist, but thrive together." Meanwhile, Laura threw herself into demonstrating the benefits of cooperation. Working with a team of Earth's top scientists, she began adapting luminant technology to solve some of humanity's most pressing problems. From clean energy solutions to revolutionary medical treatments, the potential seemed limitless. But not everyone was convinced. Senator Brandt and his followers continued to sow seeds of doubt and fear. "They'll strip our planet of resources," he warned in fiery speeches. "They'll replace our workers with their superior technology. This is the beginning of the end for humanity as we know it." His words found fertile ground in those afraid of change, and soon protests erupted in cities around the world. "Earth for humans," the crowds chanted, their faces twisted with anger and fear. It was Ilara who came up with a plan to turn the tide. "We need to show them," she told the twins one evening, her eyes alight with determination. "Not just tell them, but show them what's possible when we work together." And so began Operation Starbridge. In cities across the globe, Orion and Lyra, along with volunteers from both Earth and the Luminant delegation, set up community centers. These hubs became nexus points of cultural exchange, where humans could interact with alien technology, learn about Luminant culture, and see firsthand the benefits of cooperation. In New Delhi, a Luminant atmospheric purification system cleaned the air of pollutants, allowing residents to see clear skies for the first time in decades. In Sao Paulo, Laura worked with local engineers to implement Luminant water reclamation technology, solving the city's chronic water shortage issues. Orion, meanwhile, focused on education. He set up programs that allowed human students to telepathically experience life on Lumina, fostering understanding and empathy. The effect was profound. Those who had once feared the alien now spoke of the wonders they had witnessed and the kinship they felt with a world light years away. But the true test came when a global crisis struck. A series of massive solar flares threatened to knock out Earth's power grids and communication systems, potentially plunging the planet into chaos. It was a disaster beyond humanity's ability to prevent. In this moment of crisis, Orion and Lyra stepped forward. Working in concert with Luminant scientists aboard their ship and human engineers on the ground, they devised a plan to use Luminant shield technology to protect Earth. As the solar storm approached, the world watched with bated breath. Luminant ships positioned themselves strategically around the planet, their advanced shields extending to create a protective bubble around Earth. When the flares hit, their fury was dissipated harmlessly against the alien technology. The sight of alien ships defending Earth against a cosmic threat was a turning point. Even the most hardened skeptics couldn't deny the evidence before their eyes. Humanity had been saved not by their own technology, but by the very aliens some had feared and reviled. In the aftermath, public opinion shifted dramatically. Senator Brandt and his supporters found their platform crumbling as more and more people embraced the idea of a cooperative future with alien allies. Orion and Lyra, along with Ilara and the Luminant delegation, were hailed as heroes. But for the twins, it was more than just a political victory. It was a validation of everything they were, children of two worlds, a bridge between the stars. As Earth began the process of establishing formal diplomatic relations with Lumina, Orion and Lyra knew that their greatest challenges and greatest adventures still lay ahead. But they were ready. With the love of their Earth Mother, the support of their Luminan heritage, and the growing acceptance of humanity, they were prepared to lead the way into a new era of interstellar cooperation. The universe, vast and full of wonders, awaited, and humanity, guided by two unlikely princes, was finally ready to take its place among the stars. As the dust settled and the initial excitement began to wane, a new challenge emerged. The sudden influx of advanced alien technology had sent shockwaves through Earth's economic systems. Traditional industries were becoming obsolete overnight, leading to widespread unemployment and social unrest. Orion and Lyra recognized the need for a more gradual integration of Luminan technology. They proposed the creation of the Interstellar Innovation Institute, IOI, a global organization dedicated to adapting alien advancements for Earth's benefit while preserving human jobs and culture. The IUI became a beacon of hope, offering retraining programs for displaced workers and fostering collaboration between human and Luminan scientists. Under the twins' guidance, Earth began to transform. Polluted cities were rejuvenated with bioengineered plants that could thrive in urban environments while purifying the air. Deserts bloomed with drought-resistant crops developed using Luminan agricultural techniques. But perhaps the most revolutionary change came in the field of space exploration. With access to Luminan faster-than-light travel technology, humanity's dreams of colonizing other worlds suddenly became a reality. The first joint human-Luminan colony was established on a distant exoplanet, aptly named Nova Terra. As Earth took its first steps into the galactic community, new challenges arose. Not all alien species were as benevolent as the Luminans. The twins found themselves at the forefront of interstellar diplomacy, navigating complex alliances and averting potential conflicts. Their unique perspective, part human, part Luminan, proved invaluable in these delicate negotiations. They became known across the galaxy as the Starborn diplomats, revered for their wisdom and compassion. But with their growing influence came new dangers. A shadowy organization known as the Purists emerged, dedicated to preserving human genetic purity and resisting alien influence. They saw Orion and Lyra as the ultimate threat to their vision of humanity's future. As attacks on alien embassies and human Luminan couples increased, the twins realized they needed to take decisive action. They organized a galactic summit on Earth, inviting representatives from dozens of alien species to showcase the benefits of cooperation and cultural exchange. The summit was a resounding success, culminating in the signing of the Cosmic Concordat, a groundbreaking treaty establishing rules for peaceful interaction between species across the galaxy. But even as they celebrated this triumph, a new threat loomed on the horizon. Strange anomalies began appearing throughout the solar system, spatial rifts that defied the laws of physics. Initial probes sent to investigate simply vanished. As panic began to spread, Orion and Lyra made a startling discovery. The rifts were not a natural phenomenon, but the result of an ancient alien technology awakening after millennia of dormancy. This technology, they learned, had been created by a long-extinct species known as the precursors, capable of reshaping reality itself. Now, Orion and Lyra faced their greatest challenge yet. They must unravel the mysteries of the precursors, harness the power of their reality-altering technology, and protect not just Earth, but the entire galaxy from a threat beyond imagination. As they prepare to embark on this perilous journey into the unknown, the twins know that everything they've experienced, their unique upbringing, their struggles for acceptance, their triumphs in diplomacy, has prepared them for this moment. The fate of the galaxy rests in their hands, and as they stand on the brink of this new adventure, Orion and Lyra exchange a determined glance. Whatever lies ahead, they will face it together, as family, as representatives of two worlds, and as guardians of a cosmic legacy they are only beginning to understand. The story of the Starborn diplomats is far from over. In fact, it seems the greatest chapters are yet to be written, echoes of eternity. 5 years after the day the Luminan ship first appeared over their small town, Earth was a changed planet. The skylines of major cities now featured a mix of human and luminant architecture, sleek alien spires rising alongside terrestrial skyscrapers. In orbit, a joint human-luminant space station served as a symbol of cooperation and a launching point for humanity's first forays into deep space. At the heart of this transformation were Orion and Lyra, the alien twins raised by an Earth mother, now revered as the architects of a new age of interstellar diplomacy. On the grounds of the newly established Cosmic Harmony Institute, Orion stood before a gathered crowd of human and luminant dignitaries, his bioluminescent patterns pulsing with nervous energy. "Today," he began, his voice carrying across the assembled crowd and broadcasted to billions across Earth and Lumina, "we celebrate not just the alliance between our two worlds, but the limitless potential of understanding and cooperation." Lyra, standing beside her brother, grinned widely. She had just returned from overseeing the implementation of luminant terraforming technology on Mars, the first step in making the red planet habitable for both species. As the twins delivered their speech, outlining plans for further collaboration and cultural exchange, a disturbance rippled through the crowd. Suddenly, the sky above them shimmered and warped, as if reality itself was being torn apart. A massive otherworldly structure phased into existence above the Institute, a colossal ring of pulsing energy, easily dwarfing the largest luminant ships. The assembled crowd gasped in collective awe and fear. Orion and Lyra exchanged a knowing glance. The precursor technology they had discovered years ago had finally awakened fully, and its effects were more dramatic than they could have imagined. As panic began to spread, Lyra stepped forward, her voice amplified by luminant tech. "Please remain calm. We've prepared for this moment. What you're seeing is not a threat, but an opportunity, a gateway to realms beyond our wildest dreams." Orion joined her, his steady presence a balm to the frightened crowd. "For years we studied the legacy of the precursors, an ancient race whose technology could reshape reality. This gateway is their final gift to the cosmos, and we stand ready to embrace it." As if in response to their words, the gateway pulsed, and a holographic image appeared before the twins. It showed glimpses of worlds beyond imagination, realms of pure energy, planets with physics-defying properties, and civilizations so advanced they seemed like magic. The precursors left these gateways as a test, Lyra explained, her eyes wide with wonder as she interpreted the holographic data. "Only species that have achieved true harmony, both with themselves and with others, can activate them. Our union, the bond between Earth and Lumina, was the key." Orion nodded, understanding dawning on his face. "This isn't just a doorway to new worlds. It's an invitation to join a cosmic community beyond anything we've imagined." As the implications of this revelation sank in, a new voice cut through the murmurs of the crowd. "And who gave you the right to make this decision for all of humanity?" Senator Brandt pushed his way to the front, his face twisted with a mixture of fear and anger. "You've exposed us all to unimaginable danger. We should seal this gateway immediately, before it's too late." For a moment, it seemed as if the old fears might resurface, undoing years of progress. But then an unexpected ally stepped forward, General Hawthorne, once a staunch opponent of alien cooperation. "Senator," the general said, his voice firm, "5 years ago, I would have agreed with you. But I've seen firsthand the benefits of working together. These alien twins have saved our world more times than I can count. If they say this gateway is an opportunity, I'm inclined to believe them." A cheer went up from the crowd, drowning out Senator Brandt's further protests. Orion and Lyra shared a smile, grateful for how far they'd come. But their celebration was short-lived. The gateway pulsed again, more urgently this time, and new images appeared in the hologram. They showed a cosmic threat approaching, a wave of entropic energy that devoured entire galaxies, leaving empty voids in its wake. "The hollow tide," Lyra whispered, the name coming to her from the depths of precursor knowledge now flooding her mind. "It's why the precursors vanished. They couldn't stop it, only flee before it." Orion's face set in determination. But maybe, with the combined knowledge and technology of multiple galaxies, we can find a way to halt it. This gateway isn't just an opportunity for exploration, it's a call to action. A chance to save not just our world, but all worlds. As the gravity of the situation sank in, a hush fell over the crowd. The petty concerns of moments ago seemed trivial in the face of this cosmic threat. Human and Luminan alike looked to the twins, awaiting their next move. Lyra took a deep breath, then addressed the assembly. We stand at the threshold of a new era. The challenges ahead are greater than anything we've faced, but so are the possibilities. Who will join us in this greatest of adventures? To everyone's surprise, it was Senator Brandt who stepped forward first. I've been wrong, he admitted, his voice heavy with emotion. If we face a threat of this magnitude, we need every ally we can get. You have my support. One by one, representatives from Earth and Lumina pledged their commitment to this new cosmic endeavor. As Orion and Lyra prepared to lead the first expedition through the gateway, they felt the weight of not just two worlds, but countless civilizations on their shoulders. Elara, watching proudly from the sidelines, couldn't help but marvel at the journey that had brought them here. From two frightened alien children in a crashed ship to the saviors of the cosmos, it was beyond anything she could have imagined when she first made the decision to protect them. As the twins stepped towards the pulsing energy of the gateway, hand in hand, they turned back one last time to the cheering crowd. Remember, Orion called out, no matter how far we travel, no matter what wonders or horrors we encounter, we carry the best of both our worlds with us. Our strength lies in our unity, our compassion, and our unyielding spirit of exploration. With those final words, Orion and Lyra stepped through the gateway, leading humanity and Lumina into a new chapter of cosmic history. The starborn diplomats were embarking on their greatest mission yet, to forge alliances across realities, to unlock the full potential of precursor technology, and to stand against the encroaching darkness of the hollow tide. As the gateway shimmered behind them, closing until the next expedition could follow, one thing was certain: the universe would never be the same again. And at the heart of this grand cosmic drama were two extraordinary beings, not quite human, not quite alien, but a perfect bridge between worlds. Orion and Lyra, the children of stars, were ready to write the next chapter in the greatest adventure ever known. Quantum Nexus. The precursor gateway pulsed with otherworldly energy as Orion and Lyra emerged on the other side, their senses overwhelmed by the sheer alienness of their surroundings. They found themselves in a vast, crystalline chamber that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Gravity shifted unpredictably, and time itself appeared to flow in multiple directions at once. By the stars, Lyra breathed, her bioluminescent patterns flaring with excitement. Orion, look. Before them stretched a sprawling metropolis unlike anything they had ever seen. Impossible structures of light and energy intertwined with organic matter, creating a cityscape that was both beautiful and utterly foreign. Beings of all shapes and sizes moved through the air, some physical, others seemingly made of pure thought. Welcome, Starborn, a melodious voice echoed in their minds. A being of shimmering light coalesced before them, taking on a vaguely humanoid form. We are the Axiom, custodians of the cosmic nexus. We have awaited your arrival for eons. Orion stepped forward, his diplomatic training kicking in despite his awe. We come seeking allies against the hollow tide. Our galaxies are in danger, and we need. The Axiom's form rippled, interrupting him. The threat you face is but a shadow of the true danger. The hollow tide is a symptom, not the cause. Come, there is much to show you. With a gesture, the Axiom transported them to what appeared to be a vast observatory. Countless screens showed different realities, timelines, and dimensions, a multiverse of infinite possibility. The precursors discovered a terrible truth, the Axiom explained. Reality itself is unraveling. The cosmic tapestry that binds all existence is fraying at the edges, and the hollow tide is but one manifestation of this decay. Lyra's mind raced, processing the implications. But why? What's causing it? The Axum's form darkened. An entity we call the Void Weaver, a being of anti-creation, seeking to unmake all that is. The precursors fought it and lost, scattering their technology across the cosmos in hopes that others might succeed where they failed. Orion and Lyra exchanged a determined glance. This was far beyond what they had expected, but they had come too far to turn back now. "How do we stop it?" Orion asked. The Axum's form brightened. "Alone you cannot. But you are not alone. The gateway you opened has alerted other civilizations across the multiverse. Even now, they gather to join the fight." As if on cue, new gateways began to open around them. Through them stepped beings of incredible diversity, some humanoid, others defying description. Representatives from 1,000 galaxies, 1,000,000 realities, all brought together by the threat to existence itself. "Behold," the Axiom announced, "the Multiversal Alliance." What followed was a crash course in cosmic politics unlike anything Orion and Lyra had experienced. They found themselves mediating disputes between silicon-based lifeforms and sentient gas clouds, explaining human concepts to hive minds that spanned galaxies, and learning about technologies that made even luminant advancements seem primitive. But through it all, the twins' unique perspective, their blend of human adaptability and luminant insight, proved invaluable. They became the glue that held the fledgling alliance together, earning the title the Harmony Weavers among their new allies. As they worked to unite this cosmic coalition, Orion and Lyra also began to unlock the full potential of their precursor heritage. They discovered abilities they never knew they possessed: the power to manipulate reality itself on a quantum level, to peer through the veils of time and space, to touch the very fabric of creation. Months passed in the outside world, but within the time-warped realm of the cosmic nexus, the twins experienced years of growth and learning. They became more than diplomats, more than the bridge between two worlds. They evolved into something new, guardians of reality itself. But even as their powers grew, so did the threat. The Void Weaver sensed the gathering resistance and began to move more aggressively. Entire realities winked out of existence, devoured by the encroaching nothingness. The final battle loomed, a conflict that would determine the fate not just of Earth or Lumina, but of all existence. As the Multiversal Alliance prepared for war, Orion and Lyra stood at its center, the last, best hope for creation. In a quiet moment amidst the preparations, the twins found themselves looking out over the impossible cityscape of the cosmic nexus. "Do you ever miss it?" Lyra asked softly. "The simplicity of our life on Earth, just us and Mom, hidden away in that cabin." Orion smiled, his bioluminescent patterns pulsing with warm memories. "Every day. But I wouldn't trade this for anything. We're exactly where we need to be." Lyra nodded, taking her brother's hand. "Together. Always," Orion agreed. As alarms began to sound, signaling the approach of the Void Weaver's forces, the twins squared their shoulders. They had come so far from those scared children in a crashed ship. Now, they stood ready to face the greatest threat the multiverse had ever known. With a shared nod of determination, Orion and Lyra stepped forward to rally their cosmic army. The fate of all reality hung in the balance, and the final chapter of their incredible journey was about to be written. As they moved to address the assembled forces of the Multiversal Alliance, a thought passed between the twins, a silent promise to each other and to the mother who had risked everything to protect them. No matter what happened next, they would face it as they had faced everything else in their extraordinary lives, together, with courage, compassion, and an unbreakable bond forged across the stars. The universe held its breath, waiting to see if love truly could conquer all, even the void itself.